On microphone 2.
Miller Smith, Bowie High School. I move to adopt the agenda as written.
Do you have a second?
Blair Todd, Board of Directors, a second.
Thank you so much. It's been moved and seconded that we adopt the agenda as written. Seeing no one rising to a mic, all in favor of adopting the agenda say aye. Aye. All opposed? We've adopted the agenda as written. I tend to hug the mic, if you can tell. On microphone 2.
Montessa Lee, Office of Talent Development, moving that the approval of the minutes for June 2nd, 2014.
And remember that that comprises 2 meetings, both the regular meeting and the corporate meeting. And moved and
Second, Blair Todd, Board of Directors.
seeing no one rising to a mic. All in favor of approving the minutes from the June 2nd meeting, say aye. Aye. All opposed? We've approved the minutes. I want you to know that we had a very busy summer. We interviewed, 30 candidates for the new cooperating teachers, the new PAR program, and 2 members of your board of directors completed the interview process in which we were part of it. PGCEA sat on the interview panels, and Rowena Shern and Tawana Lane are both now cooperating teachers. I was going to ask them to go to the mic and talk a little bit about what they've been doing since the program it really got started in August. So go ahead, and Rowena's being shy. And while they're getting situated there to talk for 2 minutes about the PAR program, you also need to know that Mark Sandy is the chair of the PAR panel, and he's chairing the body for this year. Okay, go ahead.
So, hi everybody, welcome back. We are two of your 15 consulting teachers, and we started really officially, we started July 30th, but officially getting in the meat of everything in August. We've been doing some intensive training. I feel like I'm back in college. That's a good thing. And I'm excited about it. It's going to be fun. And I'm going to leave it.
Good afternoon, everyone. All right, let's try it again. Good afternoon, everyone. All right. Okay, I'm not going to use my teacher voice, and I'm going to be quick as well. But one of the things I think is most instrumental is that we're also partnering with the mentors from the Office of Talent Development. So the goal is to hear one language, and so we're really working on that communication piece to make sure what you hear is consistent. So we're excited about that as well. We're also excited because we'll be trained on the student learning objectives as well. So you'll have some people coming out to your buildings potentially to ask questions because you'll have several experts within this process. So that's what we've been working on.
One more thing, when you see us in your building, say hi.
I just wanted to make sure, does everyone know what PAR is? It's peer assistance and review. And ultimately, one of the ways I define it is teachers taking control of their profession. Instead of allowing others to tell us who is performing well or is or isn't a good teacher, now we have teachers taking control of that instead of allowing someone who may not be in the classroom at all. So it's something I'm completely excited about, guys, and something that as it rolls out, we're looking to have your support as well. Thank you so much.
Yes, good evening, everybody. Blair Todd, PGCA Board of Director, and also MSCA Board of Director. Thank you again for your support. Just to give you an update on some of the things MSCA has begun to do, they're looking to dig deep as far as strengthening the organization, and one way they've done that is through Strategic Planning Task Force. and they're also using some of NEA's leadership competencies as a guide as they look into why does MSDA exist. Another thing that MSDA has continued to be involved in is the development of the evaluation regulations that MSDE and Annapolis have been putting together. And they continue to work on the language, additions, deletions, subtractions, and so forth. And MSDA is very optimistic about what language being put forth. And so it's looking really good as far as us staying involved in that. With that being said, I do want to hear from you all. I am your voice there at that table for MSDA, and so any suggestions, comments, questions you have in regards to MSDA, we pay a lot of money in dues to MSDA, so it makes sense for us to be more involved and to use the organization to help us as well strengthen the state. One of the highlights was that High Point High School's FAC won one of the grants. So you'll be hearing more about that as well. It's some money that High Point High School is going to get to strengthen their faculty advisory committee. And lastly, the MSDA convention is right around the corner. And as many of you know, I've been doing new business now for quite some time and have a lot of experience with new business items. Please, if you plan on submitting something, let me know. I can sit down and help you out with it. I've helped a lot of people in here so far become very successful passing theirs. Donna and Victor. Several people have passed theirs at NEA conventions, MSDA conventions. So it's what we want the organization to focus on for that year. So if there's something you want MSDA to do this year in Ocean City, that's the time to put in a new business item. Again, email me, let me know, we can work on it together and go from there. Thank you.
Madam Treasurer, you were going to be acting on the budget, so we'll wait on that. Under new business. Bylaws, I don't see Graybeard. We haven't had a chance to meet, so we won't do a committee report on bylaws yet. Government relations is ready, go.
Entitled Endorse Candidates Primary Results. You will notice that the strike through are our unsuccessful endorsements of the County Council, the Board of Education, and the General Assembly of approximately 41 endorsements. Only 4 of our candidates were not successful. So we had a 90% success rate. I think we can give ourselves a big applause. That's possibly the most significant endeavor we do every 4 years is to make sure that we have Friends of Education at those 3 levels. Included in the packet are the congressional endorsements for the Prince George's County reps and the Democratic Central Committee, since we made 3 endorsements from members of our own. We can congratulate Teresa Dudley, who was elected to the Democratic Central Committee. Thank you, Mr. President.
And just one note there, when people look at you and say, it doesn't matter if I'm voting or not, Doyle Neiman, our endorsed candidate, lost District 2 by 6 votes. Yeah, 6 votes, 49.94% of the vote. Turnout matters, voting matters. Okay, that one just, and it went about 3 ways. And first he was winning by 6, and then he was losing by 6, and then he was winning by 6. And when they got done counting all the absentee ballots, he lost by 6 votes. It's amazing. Okay, membership and or future teachers. We haven't acted on committee chairs. We're going to act on in the board on that in the September meeting. There's going to be a few more co-chairs and some changes are going to take place. Go ahead.
Let me start with congratulations to all of you who helped us with the PEEP packing materials. First of all, we had so many people, it would not have been possible to prepare all those folders without your help. Also, I want to thank all those folks who helped us at the PEEP at Henry Wise. We had Robin McNair, to name a few, Anna Jones, Olive Lennox, Rowena Shern, Norman White, Tawana Lane, we would not have been able to do it without you, so give yourselves a hand. Thank you so much. Good news. Out of 800 teachers, we had 718 full fee payers. That is awesome.
Full members, full members.
Full members. So now we have a total of 7,615 full paying members. That is awesome. I also have in my hands 7,900 mailbox stickers. You will receive enough stickers for each of your schools. Reps, they are to be placed on those full paying members on the boxes when you receive them in the mailbox. Okay, so it makes it so much easier for you to put materials inside the box. It also shows pride in the membership. So thank you so much for your help. We're on to a good start.
Yes.
For Ms. Sabree, is this something that the building administrator has to approve?
No, they do not. Thank you.
Minority Affairs followed by NECC. Annette, are you here? Going once, twice. NECC, do you have a report? Yes, go.
Okay. Good afternoon. Just as a reminder, all nominations for our upcoming elections for this year must be submitted online. The submission deadline is October 31st at 11:59 p.m. The following seats are available: President, Vice President, 4 at-large members for the board, MSCA and/or NEA delegate positions. It's important to remember that campaigning may not begin until after the slate is announced at the January Rep Council meeting. Literature may be passed out at any Rep Council meeting following the announcement of the slate of nominees. A candidate may not campaign during the professional workday as defined in the negotiated agreement. This would include the use of telephone, email, and other electronic devices. And please don't forget to complete your NECC or your elections in the building for your FAC and submit the forms online. And that's it?
That's it?
Yes?
Okay, you have until, it's 15th of September, right, to make reports on building elections?
Yes.
Thank you. PDL and Green Across America, followed by PR. Rowena, you sent me, you need to send me your replacement. And we'll have to find her replacement.
All right, good afternoon again. In terms of PR, we had an excellent turnout at our Denver convention. Other locals really watched and looked at our representation, so wearing our shirts. It was great to see that unity. We also put it on the website. So kudos to all the members. They went out and they represented us well while we were in Denver. Prince George's County represented. And for those of you that have shirts, we're looking to do it again in Ocean City. And those of you that don't, you can get in contact with Will. We'll make it happen.
Cool. Anything from Sick Leave Bank?
For bylaws and sick leave bank, no report at this time.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. Social, you're still there?
Okay, next, on September the 6th will be our first social committee event. It will be on the Spirit of Baltimore. Boarding time is 7 o'clock, and we will set sail from 7:30 to 10:30 p.m.
The cost is $85.15 per person. If you log on to the PGCEA website, you should be able to find the link. If not, the link was sent to everyone in an email to register and purchase tickets. And if you did not receive the link and you're interested in going, just come see me in the back and I'll make sure you get the information. Thank you.
Thank you. We have no old business. We're moving on to new business. I'm going to reverse the order here and do a brief review on parliamentary procedure. I'll do a more in-depth one in September. Remember that we use cards when we go to the mic because certain types of activities have priority. A point of information where you need to ask a question of the maker through the chair, you use... We'll do this again in September, but very quickly. If you need to ask a question of a maker of a motion through the chair, you use a point of information, which is a gray card. It means you're cloudy. You do not know what you need to know to make an informed vote. If you wish to make a motion, you select a blue card, or to amend a motion. If you wish to speak in opposition to a motion, red light, you pick the red card. If you wish to speak in support of a motion, green light, you pick a green card. And if you spot the chair making a mistake and need to make a point of parliamentary inquiry, you use the orange card. And basically, which card you pick up determines whether or not I call on you. Because if somebody picks up a point of information, that has priority in the order of being recognized. If you're asking questions to the maker, I need to call on you first, okay? And we'll do a little bit more depth in review of that, but I know it's been a long summer. Everybody's coming back going, where am I? How did I get here? I'm kind of there myself. I had to come out here and review my cards before I started the meeting going, oh yeah, I have to run the meeting. So, right now, the first thing we have to do by rule is to adopt the standing rules for the year. They were sent out to you by email, and you have a hard copy in front of you. And the chair would be very happy to entertain a motion to approve the standing rules. Those are 2014, 2015.
Teresa Dudley, Vice President. I would like to move the standing rules for 2014, 2015.
And I need a second. It's been moved and seconded. Is there any debate? Anyone speaking for or against anything, wishing to make an amendment? Seeing no one rising to a mic, I shall put the question to you. Shall we adopt the 2014-15 standard PGCEA Representative Council standing rules? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say nay. We've adopted the standing rules. We are on to adoption of the 2000, make that read 2000, I'll correct it in the computer tomorrow. 2014-2015 PGCEA operating budget. And I think the treasurer is moving to a mic.
It's been a long, hard day, even though the kids were not there. Technology has not been cooperating with us today. So we have been doing the battle of the machines. Anyway, you should have the budget in front of you. And we're going to go through page by page. Each line has an explanation if you want to look at that. I'm going to go over a few things, a few highlights with you. We're not going to go over the budget line by line unless you have a question about a specific line. So we're going to start on page 1B. And at the top, it says income summary. Now, PGCEA dues and fees are our main income. This is what drives the organization. This is the money that we pay to run the organization. So if we don't have enough of that, we're in trouble. At this point, we're in good shape. There is going to be a dues increase. But the good news is that it's going to turn out to be 67 cents per pay period. So when I give you the broad numbers, that's what it translates to. So PGCEA dues are going up by $6, MSCA dues are going up by $5, and NEA dues are going up by $1. And that translates to 67 cents per pay period. The overall yearly dues are going to be $665, and we are still the lowest dues of all the large locals in the state. So we're still charging less than the others are for doing more work. Okay, if there are no questions on that page, let's go over to the next one, 2B.
Madam Treasurer, in just 1 second, I just want you to know, as you're sitting here, that for 2014-15, we're going to be recording the meetings from gavel down until petition and comment, and we'll turn it off at petition and comment, because sometimes things are mentioned in the petition and comment that we wouldn't want to go out on the web. So I want you to know that we're recording it, and to be mindful of the fact that we're recording the rep council in the business session going forward. Thank you. Go ahead.
I think he's trying to say be on your best behavior. And don't use bad words.
Of which I am guilty from time to time.
So as you can see, on page 2B, lines 1 and 2, we have the PGCA dues. And that will be $1,407,528, and agency fee $163,826. We're trying to again lower the number for agency fee and turn them into full paying members, and that's your job in your building. Go to each person and ask them to become a full member. It's not that much more money, and they get a lot more for it. Line 9 and 10 are our projected dividends and net gain and sale of investments. That is also one of the drivers of our budget, but certainly not as much as the dues. On page 3B, if you will go down to line 9, representative council, you will see that from 14 to 15, it's going up from 14,500 to 19,300. Now, part of that is the fact that we're going to be videotaping each rep council and putting it online, and we would like to purchase shirts for the reps and for others who want them. It represents pride in our union when we wear that shirt. Go down to delegate expenses, lines 11 and 12. So line 11, MSCA Representative Assembly, we are going to go from giving you $260 to giving you $350. It's about time, since it has stayed at $260 for a long time. And all 136 people who were elected will be able to go. And we hope that all 136 will be able to go at $350. So if you were elected, please come to the convention. It looks good when we have a large force out. For the NEA Representative Assembly, you will be getting $1,600 for 59. We're going to be funding 59 delegates. It's slightly less money than we got this year because it's a cheaper location.
Less travel.
Less travel. Okay, next page, page 4B. The committee expenses. So you will see under lines 1 and 2, what you'll see is that there's a $500 increase from 14 to 15 because we would like to include Sparks in that and funding people who will be going to Sparks. Sparks is a very good training program for our newer members. Election expense, which is line number 13, has gone down from 8,500 to 5,500 because we're now doing electronic voting, and it is easier and cheaper. Okay, go down to line 24. for committee program budget fund. It's actually gone down from 43,500 to 35,000. And the reason is that the committees actually didn't even spend the amount of money that was budgeted in the fund last year. So if you're on a committee, you need to become more involved, more activities, spend the money, and then it'll go back up.
And a reminder that they need to come to the board of directors with proposals for
Right.
things that they want to do as a committee.
Right,
We
and-
act as the approving body.
If it's a worthy activity, of course, the board of directors says yes. So you need to come up with creative ideas to spend money, committees. The transportation stipends are going up from 3,000 to 5,000 because we discovered that in 2014 we actually spent more money than was allocated. So we do need that increase. Okay, page 5B. Basically, it's self-explanatory. If you will look at office operations from line 22 down, you know, some have gone up slightly, some have gone down slightly. It just depends on how much money we spent last year. But there aren't any great changes. Let's see. Line 37 for the office building. Line 37 says other building, and that includes certain maintenance, the cutting of grass, and that is going up slightly by $2,000. Okay. Next page, page 6B. I don't know, should I announce it, or will the president announce about our executive director? That's a no, in case you missed it. Let's see. Lines 18 and 19, you will see that the money has gone up, especially for conferences. It's going up from $2,000 to $13,000. And the workshops and special caucuses are going up from $6,526 to $8,200. And the reason is we want you to be involved. We want you to be able to go to conferences that are being sponsored by either MSEA and especially the NEA, and we want the money to be there for you to go. So if there are conferences that you see that you're interested in, you need to let us know.
Let your president know.
Right, let your president know. The money will be available, hopefully. That's about it, unless you have any questions about specific items. Again, you have an explanation for each line on the page facing the numbers, right? So if you have a question about a specific item, there is an explanation for it.
It helped a little bit that membership has come up this year.
Right.
A question on microphone 1. Point of information, you need a gray card. Unless you're making a motion. Gray card on number 1.
I'm Rosa Frazier from Clinton Grove Elementary. I was just looking at the increase of it.
Helps if you tell us what page you're on.
I'm on page 6B.
6B? Yes.
The increase of the conferences, line 19.
Right.
From 2,000 to 13,000. That's an increase of $11,000.
Yes, it is.
If we don't spend that amount of money, what does that $11,000 go to?
It would revert to, any money that's unspent in the budget reverts to reserves for the next year. But it's with PAR coming on board, with the mentoring program, with all of the things that we've got going on instructionally right now, it's a mission priority to get people into trainings. and we've been sending few people to trainings in the last couple of years because of the budget. And so we've increased the budget this year to be able to say, I need you to go to an NEA training, and that's what it's for. But if it goes unspent, any money in any line item that goes unspent reverts to reserve for the following year.
Okay, these trainings are being advertised on, what?
Well, lots of times a member will come to me and say the NEA is having a training in X place and I need such and such for hotel and to get there. Lots of times members will appeal to me directly. Other times we will hear about a training and post the availability of a training for membership online or send out a blast to people. There's many ways that gets out to people.
And this training is just for reps? It's not?
No, it's for
teachers?
members. It's for members. Anybody who's a member is able to go to an NEA or MSEA training.
Are you the only one who makes the decisions about whether they go or not?
Not only, but that it's one of the prerogatives of the president to approve and disapprove of such things as a rule. But I usually run things by the board.
Okay.
Okay? Depends on the time frame. If somebody says I've got a really valuable training a week from now and the board's not meeting, I may just send it. Microphone 2.
Are you ready for a motion?
I'm always ready for a motion.
I move adoption of the budget.
Tell us who you are.
Blair Todd, PGCA Board of Directors. I move adoption of the budget for 2014-2015.
And do you have a second?
Rick Beard, second.
Thank you. Speak to your motion.
I trust in our treasurer, her leadership as well. The board had a chance to sit down and comb through it, pick through it, move some money here, move some money there. So we did look over it and we found everything decent and in order. And ask that you support the budget.
Anyone rising to speak for or against? See no one rising to a mic. All in favor of adopting the 2014-15 budget, say aye. Aye. All opposed, say nay. There's a nay. Let it record it. It's not unanimous. We have the nay caucus over there. And we have a budget for 2014-2015 with days to spare. September 1st. All right. That brings us to the end of new business for today, being ever mindful of your time. We'll let that constitute the treasurer's report.
Yes.
You have here my email, haynesk@pgcea.org. If you have never done so, take out your cell phone and email me. And just say, hi, Ken, this is, tell me who you are and where you work, so that I can update your contact file on my phone, just in case. Text me and do the same thing, okay? Because the one thing that has driven me crazy over the years, sitting both where you sit and sitting up here, is petition and comment. And I've said it and I want to say it one more time. Petition and comment, if something happened today in your school and you need to come to me about a petition and comment on Monday because it happened on Monday, I don't really have a problem with that. But if it happened 2 weeks ago, why on earth did you wait until Monday night to talk to me about it? Okay? I want all of my reps here. If you have a problem in your building, the day you have the problem, write in subject area, petition and comment if you must. Okay? Say this is for petition and comment. Following's happened. I need some help from the association. I am glad to do that at the moment it happens. Okay? It does not need to wait until the 4th Monday of the month. We live in the 21st century with instantaneous communications. It is the biggest thing in the world for you to write me and for the causer of the problem to get an email from an appropriate source minutes later saying, what's going on over there? And that's the way it's supposed to run now in the 21st century. I give you my email. Now, do not call me. Okay? I'm up front with you. I'm going to tell you, there are a few things I hate to do more than talking on a phone. Okay? Because if you send me an email, I can get back to you when I see the email, and usually take care of it quickly. But what I have noticed over the years, I noticed it with parents too, okay, that a 10-minute phone call never happened in my career. A phone call with a parent was a dead planning period. That's why I got all my parents' emails when they came in, said, please email me. I will communicate with you about your child, but email me. I don't want to have conversations on the phone, because conversations on the phone take too much time. And I've got 9,000 members, okay? So if you text me, if you email me, I will get back to you. Is there anybody here in this room who can contest that statement? I get back to everybody, okay? So what I will do is, if you put petition and comment in the message line, that tells me to file it for the end of the month, and I'll write a report of all the things that we've done under petition and comment, and you'll get a report of the 27 things we do over the period of a month, and so that we don't have to answer questions twice here. But it kills me is the spirit of the meeting, is that we go through all these positive things and all the things we're doing as an association, and then we get to the last 20 to 30 minutes and people are ready to set themselves on fire, okay? And it's not the way I like to end a meeting. And I'd rather say, here are the things we've taken care of this month. You may find the answer to your question in here, okay? It's just a more efficient way of getting it done. And I would really like the reps to take that in and incorporate that, because I will get back to you. I will act on your concerns, okay? Peer assistance and review. It is a rare occasion. I joke that when I graduated from the University of Maryland College Park in 1986, my professor said, the pace of educational change is slow. And I went, okay. And I'm 30 years in, or close to 30 years in, and now I realize that they were wrong. The pace of educational change is glacially slow. Okay? 2004, I shadowed my first peer assistance and review, peer reviewing teacher, and came home and went, why aren't we doing this here? Okay, 2004. And 11 years later, and by sheer happenstance, okay, we have a PAR program. The right person sitting in the CEO chair said, what do you want to get done? And I said, I want to get peer assistance and review done. And he said, how much money do you need? Let's do it. And we now have 15 professional educators who are going to take 225 first-year teachers under their wing and say, let's make it easier on you to be a first-year teacher. That's the goal, okay? The emphasis for me has always been in peer assistance and review, has been on the assistants, okay? We want to hug teachers and call them George and make them better teachers than they ever thought they could be in their first year of teaching. And we are about the assistants. And those 15 cooperating teachers are assistant. They are assisting young teachers, junior teachers, inductees to the profession, and they're going to make them better teachers. And they're working 11 months a year to do so. Okay? It is a teacher leadership position. They have made a 5-year commitment to the peer assistance and review program, because they are going to become the trainers of the future cohorts. Because the goal of the program is that by the 5th year, every new teacher to the system will go through a couple years of peer assistance and review where they will either exit from the program before their third year in tenure, or they will exit from the profession if they have not made progress as an educator. Okay? We had to do this, and we have to do this because doctors do it, and lawyers do it, and we're professionals just like they are, and we have to take charge of our profession by setting the standards and saying this is what it means to be a great educator, and you need to rise to this level of expectation. So I'm very excited. It's a time to be excited. We have teacher leaders stepping forward and guiding new people who are new to the profession. It's going to be an extraordinary opportunity going forward for PGCEA. We also are working hard on our teacher-led school. Ray, would you like to talk about that for a minute, or do you want to wait? She's not here? Okay. PAC update. We are the only local in the state of Maryland who made their PAC goals last year. I got a phone call from President Betty Weller just before the convention and said, Ken, I just want you to know that you're the only local that made their goals. And we've gone under my stewardship from 4% when I came in to 15% of our members now contribute to the Political Action Committee. I think we've still got a ways to go. With much help from Donna Yearwood Hayes and everybody here who has signed up, just about everyone here has signed up. We've still got a little ways to go. I need you to work your buildings, and there are some forms in the back, and if you need more forms, we have some more forms in the building. But people need to understand why I push this. And if you need me to write it up for you so that you can deliver it for members, I will. But 4 groups in this nation spent $800 million trying to elect a candidate that wanted right to work. And right to work means no right to bargain. And if you look at what ALEC has done, shipping bad legislation from state to state, they've been picking off one state at a time. They're very happy to pick off one state at a time. They picked off Wisconsin, they picked off Michigan, they almost picked off Ohio, we fought them back. And what's happened in North Carolina in the last couple of years is sinful. And guess what I saw in every room that I worked at the PEEP, at the inductee, where we have new teachers and we go around and sign them up. Guess how many there were from North Carolina coming here? Okay, there were a lot. Okay, whole bunch of teachers from North Carolina bailing because Art Pope spent $116,000 on every race in the legislature in North Carolina and bought the legislature and then passed anti-labor laws. Okay? That's where we are. They lost the right to be paid for their credentials. They lost the right to be paid for national board certification. They lost dues withholding for membership. The list is long of what they did, especially to teachers unions in North Carolina. Last year, you may have heard that MSEA had a little local fiasco where a local affiliate attempted to disaffiliate. And the money that was put behind that effort has been traced back to the Koch brothers. They're looking at Maryland. Okay? Because a large section of Maryland is fairly conservative. And they see an opportunity to come in and do labor some harm here in a blue state. So there's a reason I ask people to contribute to PAC. I need every member contributing to PAC. I will come to your school. All you have to do is say, I can arrange a faculty meeting at what time. Give me a couple weeks leave. I can usually find a way to be there. If you're not comfortable making that ask, I will come.
He does a great job.
I will come. Of the 800 the 800 new teachers at the PEEP this year, more signed up for PAC than didn't. I think the number's probably going to be 300 to 400 people signed up for the PAC sitting in the room. But they're coming into teaching, some of them haven't taught a lick. And once they had it explained to them and they understand the politics of the situation, they signed up for $1 or $2 or $3. And so I'm a firm believer that if you explain it to members, members will sign up for a couple dollars a paycheck. And if you're not comfortable doing that, you have my email, you have my text, you tell me what day your FAC meets, I will come in, call a PGCEA meeting, I will find a way to be in your building, usually with a UNISERV director in tow. Okay? So I need you to do this for me. I'd like to get us to 20–25%. I'd really like to shock MSEA to a point that not anybody else has gotten, I think, in the state. I think Howard's gotten to 18%, but they're a smaller local. Nobody our size does this except Montgomery. So we still got a ways to do. And with the convention coming and with the election coming in November, we really need to get this done. We need to support the governor, lieutenant governor. MSEA pre-convention caucus. I have to represent you at the National Council on Teacher Retirement the week before the convention. I'll be in Indianapolis from Sunday through Wednesday, and I get back on Wednesday and leave Thursday morning for the convention. So I have to change the date to the pre-convention caucus to the 6th of October, which will be basically 2 weeks before the convention. So that's going to be the pre-convention caucus on 10/6. Okay, make note of that. We'll send out emails. It'll be here, the pre-convention caucus, where if you have any business, if you have any resolutions, if you have anything you want to bring to our attention, you would bring it to our attention there. I have one August fact report from Central High School, Charlie. Okay.
New principal from out of county. That's a good thing.
He's happy, so it's good. Send me your fact reports. Your fact reports are important. Whether it can be as simple as, my school has no concerns at this time. Okay? That's okay. Okay, I like to hear those. The FAC met, the FAC met, and we have no concerns to bring to you at this time. But it's as simple as that, just saying, I have no concerns at my school. Cool. If you have concerns and they're not addressed, I need to know immediately, within a week. Okay, you give your principal a week to respond to FAC concerns. I need to know at the end of that week that they were not addressed. If they are addressed, CC your UNISERV director. Or if you're not happy with how they were addressed, you need to send them to me and the UNISERV director. The only time you just send them to me is when they are not addressed at all. Okay? You don't get a response back. I need to know that. That's when I get on the phone. Okay? So email me FAC concerns, short and sweet FAC concerns in the memo line. Attach a document if you have one, but let me know what they are. Usually I file them, unless you give me a "Ken, I need you to look at this one" message or something. Sometimes we get the non-response response. Okay, and you need to let me know what's in it, because otherwise I dump them into your school file and I save them for future reference. Okay, so let me know if you have a concern that I need to look at your FAC concern in the body of the message. Get in a habit of sending things to us by private email. Okay, please. There is no assumption of privacy on the company mail. If it's something that you might not want someone else to see, not to say that they're sitting around monitoring the email, but they could, there is no assumption of privacy. And so it is best that you send them to us by private email and that you operate with us from a Gmail account or any other email that you have. We need to have those. Political season's coming. We need to be able to contact you. We need people to say, I'm going to work a poll. We need to be able to contact you. Now, I will do administrative things for PGCEA. We negotiated it into the agreement this year. I will do administrative functions over PGCPS. I'll remind you that you need to hold building relations. I'll remind you to send FAC reports. I will do administrative things monthly on PGCPS mail. But I will not do GR. I will do no government relations. It's not appropriate use of the company email. There are things that I won't do. I won't discuss any concerns you have about personnel over an email, over PGCPS mail. That's not in your best interest to do so. So use your private email to communicate with us, please. Okay? Oh, I think that's about it.